Identity, language, etiquette, social roles, opinions, ideology, religion, ethnicity, philosophy, agendas, rules, laws, monies, economics, jobs, hierarchies, politics, government. All mental constructs which only influence society to the extent that they are believed and subscribed to by a significant majority of the collective. If you have influence over the things that people believe about those mental constructs, you have influence over society. You rule it. The oligarchs manipulate the narratives of entire societies. That is why there have been book burnings, heretic burnings, and executions for mocking the emperor throughout history. Ideas which differ from the dominant narratives about what power is, how money works, who should be in charge, and so on, are threatening to a ruler's power in the exact same way that an assassin's dagger is. At any time, in any kingdom, the people could have decided to take the crown off their king's head and place it upon the head of a common beggar, and treat him as the new king. And, in a very meaningful way, he would be the new king. The only thing preventing this from happening is the dominant narratives subscribed to by the society at the time about divine right, fealty, loyalty, noble blood, and so on. The only thing keeping the crown on a king's head was narrative. The exact same thing remains true today. The only thing that has changed is the narratives the public subscribe to. Because of what they are taught in school and what the talking heads on their screens tell them about their nation and their government, most people believe that they live in a relatively free democracy where accountable temporary power is placed in the hands of a select few based on a voting process informed by the unregulated debate of information and ideas. Completely separate from the government, they believe is an economy whose behavior is determined by the supply and demand of consumers. In reality, economics, commerce, and government are fully controlled by an elite class of plutocrats who also happen to own the media corporations which broadcast the information about the world onto people's screens. Control the narrative of economics and commerce, and you control economics and commerce. Control the narratives about politics and government, and you control politics and government.
They say I can sell anything. I'd like to try to sell something to you. Valhalla, Mr. Beale. Please sit down. You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it. Is that clear? You think you merely stopped a business deal? That is not the case. The Arabs have taken billions of dollars out of this country, and now they must put it back. It is ebb and flow, tidal gravity. It is ecological balance. You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, Rins, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today. That is the atomic and subatomic and galactic structure of things today. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone. Am I getting through to you, Mr. Beale?
This control is used by the controllers to funnel power to the oligarchs in this way effectively turning society into one giant energy farm for the elite class. But it is possible to wake up from the narrative matrix. It isn't easy and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes work, inner work, and humility. Nobody likes acknowledging that they've been fooled. And the depth and extent to which we've all been fooled is so deeply pervasive, it can be tempting to decide that the work is complete far before one is actually free. Mainstream American liberals think they're clear-eyed because they can see the propaganda strings being pulled by Fox and Donald Trump, and mainstream American conservatives think they're clear-eyed because they can see the propaganda strings being pulled by MSNBC and the Democrats. But the propaganda strings on both trace back to the same puppet master, and seeing that is just the beginning.
Man wants chaos. In fact, he's gotta have it. Depression, strife, riots, murder, all this dread. We're irresistibly drawn to that almost orgiastic state created out of death and destruction. It's in all of us. We revel in it.
Sure, the media tries to put a sad face on these things, painting them up as great human tragedies. But we all know the function of the media has never been to eliminate the evils of the world. No. Their job is to persuade us to accept those evils and get used to living with them. The powers that be want us to be passive observers. Hey, you got a match? And they haven't given us any other options outside the occasional, purely symbolic, participatory act of voting. You want the puppet on the right or the puppet on the left?
But through sincere, humble research and introspection, it is possible to break free of the matrix and see the full extent to which you and everyone you know has been imprisoned by the ideas which have been programmed into social consciousness by the powerful. Not just in our adult lives, but ever since our parents began teaching us how to speak, think, and relate to the world. Not just in the modern world, but as far back as history stretches, to when the power-serving belief systems of social structure and religion were promoted by kings and queens of old. All of society, and all of ourselves, and indeed all of the thoughts in our heads, have been shaped by those in power to their benefit. This is the reality that we were born into, and our entire personality structure has been filtered through and shaped by it.